world that nature has to offer in one lifetime. What a dream! To travel freely into the home of the wild ones, to live with them, to become so accepted by them that they hardly notice that you're there. That is not only my dream, that's my goal. I'm wildlife photographer Bill Porter, and I'll take you there.
I walked on the mountain and down by the sea. There I saw a man who shared his world with me. We shared this world with wild ones, that's the way it's meant to be. We're also meant to save them, that's the power in you and me. I wandered down the valley, crossed to the other shore. There's wildlife all around us, birds and bees and so much more. We're always going to take some, that's the way it's meant to be. We're also meant to save them, that's the power in you and me. Well, I woke up to the sunrise, stood there at sunset too. Still I saw the wild ones, wish you had been there too. For with one touch of nature, the whole world had become kin. This message all around us, that's the way it's always been.
Wildlife Unlimited Foundation, thanking you for doing your part to keep our wildlife unlimited. I'm wildlife photographer Bill Porter, and I'll take you there. Sometimes they're cute. Sometimes they're beautiful. Other times they're simply amazing. But it's always exciting in the wonderful world of the wild ones.
Going to take some, that's the way.
Bill Porter's Wildlife Unlimited show is brought to you by the Wildlife Unlimited Foundation and made possible by viewer support and your donations. To watch the wild ones live as they live, to record that way of life for all to see, both this generation and the generations that follow. That is my quest. That is my dream. That's my goal. I'm wildlife photographer Bill Porter, and I'll take you there.
I walked on the mountain and down by the sea. There I saw a man who shared his world with me. We shared this world with wild ones, that's the way it's meant to be. We're also meant to save them, that's the power in you and me. I wandered down the valley, crossed to the other shore. There's wildlife all around us, birds and bees and so much more. We're always going to take some, that's the way it's meant to be. We're also meant to save them, that's the power in you and me. Well, I woke up to the sunrise, stood there at sunset too. Still I saw the wild ones, wish you had been there too. For with one touch of nature, the whole world had become kin. This message all around us, that's the way it's always been.
Not so very far away, in a place we would all like to live in, lives a man in tune with nature, a man who is tolerated by the wild ones. He lives in the big woods with them and has come to be known as the Old Man of the Woods. He makes no pets, just observes and enjoys. This time I found him deep in the big woods, and we spent the afternoon together watching a big buck in rut cleaning the velvet off of his antlers. A big white-tailed deer buck we both knew as Stag. It surprised both of us that the rubbing was so early this year. Usually Labor Day is the earliest whitetails begin to rub. But here it was, at least, 2 weeks early. The weather had been unseasonably cool, But no one really knows if it's the temperature that starts the deer rubbing or the length of daylight, which is so characteristic of many changes in nature's year-long ritual. I saw Stag the day he was born. As we watched Stag, the old man recalled having seen him from the beginning. Stag was left by his mother to hide while she foraged. White-tailed does, adult females are called does, raise their young alone. Since whitetails do not live in herds, the bucks, adult male deer are called bucks, do not take part in the raising of the young. The next time he saw Stag, it was weeks later, and Stag was out exploring his new world. Everything was fascinating to him. Fawns, young whitetails are called fawns, are left in a hiding place as their mother needs a lot of time to forage in order to produce milk the baby needs. The fawns will not move until their mother returns, even if approached. Two bears started to join Stag, but they were too rough sounding for Stag. A turtle just reminded him of a rock. Another fawn in the underbrush gave a mirrored image look to the old man, but Stag paid no particular attention and just continued on. Stag's mother was a beautiful specimen, almost too perfect, as she lay in the ferns. If she hadn't have moved her leg, I'd have thought she was a statue. Another time, the old man had seen her when a young mountain lion had passed by. Still another time, a young rabbit was hardly noticed by Stag as he examined the things in the area. Seems like only yesterday, he was so inquisitive. I watched him grow up right before my eyes. First a fawn, but by fall he was a button buck. Then before long it was next fall, and he was a 5-pointer. Another year, and he's an 8-point fucking velvet. This was the year he really seemed to fill up. That first fall, when Stag was a button buck, the old man seen a lot of things. Button bucks, their antlers only get about the size of big buttons, hence the name. Some of the rubbing associated with the rut is not very serious, of course, mostly resembling a game. But Stag already was instinctively guarding his territory, as the old man could see when Stag stood up to a fox that fall. That's the first time I ever saw him assert his dominance. Most of the creatures he met in the woods were no threat to him. The old man went on to tell me about some of the other encounters he had shared with Stag. The next spring, Stag had started to grow a nice set of velvet-covered antlers. As we watched Stag move to a different bush, the old man and I moved so that we could see him better. Stag had stopped rubbing and was now eating some of the fresh green leaves. You should have been with me when Stag found those coons in a hollow stump. He went on to tell me how Stag had heard some baby coons in a hollow stump and had jumped away as they chattered. The mother now had to move her family, a large family, so large a job which all mother coons must do every week or so. But she absolutely must move them now that they had been discovered. Each kit had to be moved one at a time. Watching her, he could see the young ones just hung limp and helpless as she carried them by the nape of the neck. She tucked each one in, then returned for another. It's not uncommon for coons to have 4 to 8 young in a litter. This one had such a large family, it reminded the old man of true love. A love which doesn't count the cost, one which is too involved in giving to worry about oneself.
I wake up in the morning, shake the fuzzies from my head, the old clock clanging at the side of the bed. The melody it's playing strikes a chord in my mind. It's saying everybody wants a little piece of my time. Oh, everybody wants a little piece of my time. It's getting so I can't call any of it mine. The way people use me, it really is a crime, 'cause everybody wants a little piece of my time. Everything around the place sure looks a sorry sight. Seems to never get a chance to do a job right in patching them together with links that bind or twine, 'cause everybody wants a little piece of my time. Oh, everybody wants a little piece of my time. It's getting so I can't call any of it mine. The way people use me, it really is a crime, 'cause everybody wants a little piece of my time. The Fed just raised the taxes 'cause the banks have upped the prime. The boss down at the factory's got me working overtime. Seems like everywhere I turn it's toe the mark and walk the line. Everybody wants a little piece of my time. Yeah, everybody wants a little piece of my time. It's getting so I can't call any of it mine. The way people use me, it really is a crime, 'cause everybody wants a little piece of my time. Weekend comes, I got fishing in mind. Forget about the judge and his speeding fine. But the little woman's hit me with a bucket of brine. She's just another looking for a piece of my time. Yeah, everybody wants a little piece of my time. It's getting so I can't call any of it mine. All the way people use me, it really is a crime, 'cause everybody wants a little piece of my time. Oh, everybody wants a little piece of my time. It's getting so I can't call any of it mine. And Lord, it's been a chore to make all of this rhyme with everybody wants a little piece of my time. Said everybody wants a little piece of my time.
Darkness was fast approaching as we watched Stag remove the velvet from the other antler. He was so strong, so determined, like the fall when he was a 5-pointer. Even then he used big trees to finish removing the velvet. I remember the winter when a young mountain lion tried to have him for dinner. He told me that Stag had started to stand him off and then thought it was better to run. Stag had outrun the fast but short sprint of the cougar. Now the old man paused in his story as the shadows got longer and we watched as Stag got even closer to getting all the velvet off his second antler. Then the old man recalled a young bobcat he had seen last fall. The bobcat had been watching a squirrel in a tree overhead, but as the leaves fell, he couldn't resist the urge to pounce on them. Bobcats instinctively pounce on anything that moves. This kind of play comes as great practice when they hear or see some prey. And this bobcat went from playing with leaves to catching a mouse without even hesitating. Bobcats are found almost everywhere you find woods and mice and rabbits. Rabbits are by far the choice of food, and especially the snowshoe rabbits of the north. Bobcat males only get to be about 40 pounds. A rabbit is about the biggest animal they can handle, as they always hunt alone. Look at him now. He's eating the velvet as it comes off. As it threatened to rain, the old man left his bobcat story to explain that whitetails always eat the velvet as they rub it off their antlers. It is a rich source of protein and vitamins, which they will need during the fall rut, when they will use a lot of energy defending their territory. The next morning we met again, and as luck would have it, we watched Stag with his newly scraped antlers walk right into view. It had just quit raining, and the old man spotted a large coon family up a tree. Seemed like as hard as I tried, he noticed most things first. He explained to me that life in the wild was like a never-ending book, and the seasons were as pages or chapters, and the days only a sentence, or at most a paragraph in the scheme of things. From the summer's plush grasses and pesky bugs, to fall's mating season. The early winter is spent jousting with other males who would attempt to take over his territory. The harsh winter blizzards and deep snows, which cause the whitetails to gather in yards, small areas which they keep packed down. Their body functions slow to what some call semi-hibernation. Then with the coming of spring, with renewed energy and renewed spirit, the whitetails begin to move around again. More whitetails starve to death in the spring than any other time of the year. The new vegetation, which would provide needed energy, has not yet had a chance to grow. This lack of nutrients often leaves the whitetail weak because he uses so much energy moving about trying to find scarce food. Just yesterday, I saw him up in the big timber, just north of here. He was as magnificent as ever. Truly the bull of the woods. The way that buck looks. But it almost came to an end this morning. Later that fall, I met the old man again and asked him if he had seen Stag. He told me how he had seen him early this morning, just as the snow had stopped. He stopped to watch him as he lay there, the snow in his antlers, cleaning himself. The quiet, peaceful surroundings made one of those pictures in your mind you just know you'll never forget. But it wasn't to last. Only a short time later, while Stag was rubbing a small pine tree to clean his antlers, a cougar had picked up his fresh tracks and was now moving in on Stag. Mountain lions, or cougars as they're sometimes called, seldom catch a healthy adult deer, but they sure like to try. Sixth sense, instinct, whatever it is that tells us that someone or something is watching. Whatever you call it, Stag now knew he was in danger. His ears moved independently so he could pinpoint better the danger. It was Coca, an adult cougar the old man had also watched grow up. She was a veteran of 2.5 years in the jungle of life, and the old man knew that this was going to be a great test of strength and determination. Coca was using every bit of her cunning. She would keep the trees between them, hesitating when he looked her way, using every trick she knew to get even closer. She was faster than the deer, but she did not have as much stamina. Therefore, she knew her only chance was getting close enough and overtaking him before she was too tired. Once the chase was on, it was all out speed. This time, Stag outlasted her, but Coca was no quitter. She circled and tried to pick up his tracks. If she could, she'd try again. She wrinkled her nose, signifying the tracks were fresh enough to follow. Coca had another chance. Then Stag made a mistake. He couldn't make many and live, but he made one. He stopped by a fresh carcass to examine it. Unaware, Coca was still coming. Stag Coca didn't even think she was close. When she spotted him, there was no chance to stop. She ran full out. She pulled up short. It was a free lunch. Stag was lucky and tired. Coca was amazed and satisfied. I don't know who was the luckiest. It looks like another
Everybody wants a little piece of my time.
Page of life
Getting
yet
so I
to
can't
unfold.
call any of it.
I'm wildlife photographer Bill Porter, and I'll take you
The
there.
way people use
For my
me,
wife,
it
a
really
backup
is a
camera
crime. 'Cause
photographer.
everybody wants
For
a
my
little
son
piece
John
of
on
my
sound.
time. Weekend comes, I
Frank
got
Worley,
fishing
who
in
writes
mind.
and performs
Forget
all our
about the
original
judge and his
music.
speeding fine. But the little woman's hit me with a bucket of brine. She's
And of
just
course, my
another
dad,
looking
the
for a
old man
piece
of the
my
woods.
time.
In all of our wildlife family,
Yeah,
I want to thank
everybody
you for
wants a
doing your
little piece
part
of my time.
to keep the
It's getting so
wildlife
I can't
unlimited,
call any
and
of
urge
it
you to watch for more
mine.
of my wildlife
All
stories.
the way people use me, it really is a crime, 'cause everybody wants a little piece of my time. Oh, everybody wants a little piece of my time. It's getting so I can't call any of it mine. And Lord, it's been a chore to make all of this rhyme with everybody wants a little piece of my time. Said everybody wants a little piece of my time. Photographer Bill Porter with son John and family invite you all to join them at a spot in the country where we hope to see some wildlife still run free. We'll go hunting, climbing, fishing, diving, see things that help to set the spirit free. We might take some of the surplus that the good Lord has provided, always mindful of the sportsman's creed. So the wildlife we all love remains unlimited. Old Bill and Rose and little John, who's grown to be a man, will show you through a camera's eye wonders of the land. You might camp with them by mountain streams or run barefoot in the sand. But wherever you go, recall the creed, keep the wildlife unlimited. For a sportsman's more than just a hunter or a fisherman. There's things to see to all the mind of many a mortal man. From the way the wild protect their young to canyons carved in sand. Oh, don't take them all as you recall. We're for wildlife unlimited. Yes, Bill and Rose and little John, who's grown to be a man, will show you through a camera's eye wonders of the land. You might camp with them by mountain streams or run barefoot